All right, so this is going to be a review of Oppenheimer. It's the newest Christopher Nolan movie. I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan, so I'm expecting great things. I've really wanted to see it ever since that first trailer, and I'll say how I feel about it in a second. So, Cillian Murphy plays J. Robert Oppenheimer in this. He's known as the father of the atomic bomb. It goes through his personal life and things like that, but it's mainly covering the Manhattan Project, him coming together with all these other scientists and creating the atomic bomb. But it's not just that. It also shows the aftermath of him not agreeing with creating the hydrogen bomb, and him also going through the hearings, the communist hearings, because he's a suspected communist based on his ties to communism in the past. So what did I think about this? I thought it was incredible. This might be recency bias, but I think this is probably one of his best, or at least one of my favorites. I have some criticisms, and we'll talk about that in a second. I've seen similar ones floating around, but I love this. Right? It's beautifully shot. It's gorgeous. Not just the explosions, but the entire way through. It's a gorgeous movie. It's got great production design, great costume design. The use of sound is really great. The performances are all also great. They got Emily Blunt as the wife, and got Florence Pugh and Matt Damon. And Robert Downey Jr. He plays Strauss. He's a pretty major character from after the atomic bomb, with the having to do with the H bomb and things like that. And he's great too. I think the best performances are him and Cillian Murphy. I mean, Cillian Murphy he's fantastic, right? Like, not just with the dialogue and his delivery, but you get all you need from his performance just in his face and his mannerism. Like, he doesn't have to say a word, and you feel the grief, the remorse. You really feel sympathetic for him at certain points, and everything he's going through with the hearings and things like that. I mean, the hearings being very targeted. They're definitely persecuting him in a way, and man, you get that. I mean, this is easily the best I've seen Cillian Murphy be. But with this, I like how they show just how complicated this guy was, because I did read up on him last night and after this movie, after seeing the movie, and he is a complicated guy. I mean, at points he seems like a good guy that's just doing what he needs to do. Right? It's a very complicated thing where him and the other scientists, this thing that they're so passionate about, science, is used in this really dangerous and destructive way. And the moral aspect of it is a big question here, and I think they do a great job with that. But Oppenheimer, he seems like a good dude at times, but then you kind of question him, like, okay, do you really feel remorse for this? Are you really feeling bad, or are you just playing the remorseful angle so that you can kind of still have a good image, right? Because I mean, forever he will always be, him and the scientists, but especially him, will always be tied to nuclear weapons, the atomic bomb. And then obviously the thing that you're coming to see, right? I think they call it the Trinity test, when they finally test the atomic bomb. That has such good buildup throughout the movie, which is really great. But the scene itself, it is perfect, right? You feel like you're right there with them, right? When it's such good tension, it's so dramatic, and when they're about to hit that button, your heart stops, right? And the use of sound in that scene, oh my God, the whole thing is just so fantastic. As far as criticisms, I do think that it has some structural issues. It feels a bit messy. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of locations, it keeps changing time periods. And it kind of feels all over the place at times. Where at first I thought, okay, we're going to use the hearings as like a framing device for the whole thing, where like whenever something would be brought up, we would go back to the past and we would see it. But they didn't really do that. Really, it does feel like the hearings and the aftermath of the bomb just kind of comes up, and then we go back to the past, and then it comes up again, and then it comes up back to the past. It doesn't feel all that purposeful. Along with the black and white, I thought only the aftermath of the bomb stuff, the present day of the movie pretty much was going to be black and white. But then there's times where the hearings and stuff like that, especially with Oppenheimer, are not in black and white. And so it's like, wait a minute, is it just the Robert Downey Jr. stuff with the hearings and all the things that he's doing? Is that the only part that's black and white? It didn't feel all that purposeful, right? It definitely felt a little directionless and messy with that part of it. And then also, this is the main one that I've seen float around. The movie's too long. It's 3 hours long. It's too long. It is. Even though I'm enjoying all of it, it does feel like it could be cut down. It feels like certain things could be cut out, right? And you'd have a leaner movie easily, and you would have a leaner movie here, and it would be better because it is kind of hard to sit through 3 hours of this, even enjoying it. Right, I was towards the end. I was like, man, I really gotta pee. Like, I was the first one out of there because I had to go, man. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. I think it's the best movie of the year so far, and I'm gonna give it my highest rating. I'm gonna give it Beyond Awesome. I mean, I enjoyed it pretty much the whole way through. Really enjoyed it the whole way through, and I think it's going to make a lot of money too because I've been going to this theater. I've lived here for almost 5 years. I've been consistently going to that theater, reviewed I don't know how many movies, and I've never seen the theater that packed. Obviously, you got the whole Barbenheimer thing, but it seemed like it was mostly for Oppenheimer. I mean, the theater was packed, the lobby was packed, the parking lot was packed. Just crazy. So I'd be shocked if this doesn't make a lot of money. But anyway, that's Oppenheimer. I really enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, subscribe and we're done.